On July 15th, OpenAI shipped its first piece of hardware. Not a phone, not the Johnny Ive device. A $230 keyboard with almost no letters on it. It is called Codex Micro, and it exists to operate AI coding agents. It is a small square controller, built with a custom keyboard company called Work Louder. 13 mechanical switches, a rotary dial, a tiny joystick, a touch sensor. Limited run, and no restocks announced. The interesting part sits in the top row. 6 illuminated agent keys. Each one is bound to a live Codex agent, and its color is that agent's status. Thinking, running, waiting for you, done. Or red for an error. The dial is stranger. Turn it, and you change how hard the agent thinks. Reasoning effort on a physical knob. The joystick launches whole workflows. Debug, refactor, review a pull request, and one key just records your voice. So the obvious question, why does software need switches? The answer is not in the hardware at all. It is in what happened to coding this year. Codex crossed 5 million weekly users in June, and usage is up 10 times since last August. But the number that actually explains this keyboard is a different one. OpenAI's heaviest users now generate more than 60 hours of agent work per day. Per person. That is impossible unless one human is running many agents at once, and that is exactly what they are doing. Inside OpenAI, it is even more extreme. Among their own employees, 99.8% of generated output tokens now come from Codex, not chat. Their staff do not really write code anymore. They supervise the things that do. That changes what a programmer is. You stop being the writer, you become the operator. Assign work, watch progress, approve, decline, redirect. Coding is turning into a supervision job. And supervision jobs have always grown physical interfaces. A sound engineer gets a mixing desk, a pilot gets a cockpit, a plant operator gets a wall of indicator lights. When your work becomes monitoring concurrent processes, status moves off the screen and into the room. Because a screen is the wrong tool for this, 6 agents means 6 windows, and checking them means alt-tabbing in a loop, which is polling. An LED is ambient. It interrupts you only when its color changes. That is the entire argument for this device. This is not just OpenAI's theory. GitHub built Agent HQ, a single control plane for assigning and auditing multiple agents. VS Code now runs sub-agents in parallel. Developers report running 10, even 20 agents at a time. The control room is arriving everywhere. So does a $230 macro pad actually improve that workflow? Some of it is real. Glancing at status without switching windows is real. Approve and decline living in muscle memory is real. But be honest about the rest. Every key here is a shortcut your keyboard already has. Chords are free. This costs $230, and it only manages agents from one company. And then there is the catch buried in the fine print. The 6 agent keys only show live status while the ChatGPT desktop app is running. That app is the bridge between Codex and the lights. Which means developers who run Codex from the terminal, the IDE, or the browser get nothing. The keys stay dark. The heaviest agent operators live in exactly those places. The interface idea is ahead of its own integration. Then the internet did what it does. 3 days after launch, an open source project appeared on GitHub. Codex Micro for the M5Stack Core2. Here is the actual repository. The firmware turns a $47 hobbyist board into the same device. It pairs over Bluetooth as, literally, Codex Micro. 6 agent keys, 6 command keys, fast, approve, decline, fork, mic, send, the dial, the stick, all on a touchscreen. Run the numbers on that. $47 against $230, about a fifth of the price, 3 days of work, and fully open source. The clone is not the story though. What it proves is, if a weekend firmware project reproduces the whole product, then the product was never the aluminum. The value is the protocol, the bridge that carries live agent state to a device, and that part is software. The clone inherits the same weakness, to be fair. No Linux support because ChatGPT desktop does not exist on Linux. Same bridge, same bottleneck. Now zoom out 2 years, because there is a curve that says this desk toy is temporary. Meter measures how long a task an agent can finish on its own. That horizon doubled every 7 months for years. Since 2023, closer to every 4. Frontier agents now handle tasks around 12 hours long. On the current trend line, agents complete month-long projects sometime between 2027 and 2031. A month. Unsupervised. 6 blinking keys do not scale to that. When agents run for days, you stop watching status lights and start reading reports. The interface becomes fleet dashboards, ambient signals, and voice. A manager's tools, not a gamer's. That is why this little board matters more than its specs. It is the first commercial admission that the IDE is no longer the cockpit. The editor is becoming one window among many, and the agent fleet is the thing you actually operate. So, the verdict, in 3 parts. As a product, Codex Micro is a limited run collector object, beautiful build, uncertain daily utility, and locked to one app. As a signal, it is correct. Operating concurrent agents is a genuinely new job, and it deserves interfaces designed for supervision instead of typing. On that, OpenAI is early, not wrong. And as a direction, the $47 clone matters more than the $230 original. Because it shows the control room will be open, cheap, and everywhere, not a limited drop. The question was never why an AI coding agent needs a keyboard. It is why you still need one. If this made the shift clearer, subscribe. We do this every week.